Studios, hanging out where sports meets that thing called life. Very happy to be here with you where sports meets that thing called life, and hope you're having yourselves a fantastic morning this morning from inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Cafe Kubal located for you on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York. You will also find them by going to the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-through location, and on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, in their double-decker cafe, where I just was within the last couple days. So definitely go out there and check that out. And check out the video I did from the Manlius location on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, by going to facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, Twitter at calldt, and Instagram at wakeupcall_dt. We thank you for tuning in live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life, on youtube.com, facebook.com, and mixlr.com, all /wakeupcalldt, on wakeupcalldt.com, and on facebook.com /livenowdt, where the feed is shared every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So however you're connecting with us, we thank you so much for being a part of the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as always. So much appreciation, many thanks, and just happy to be here. Happy to be hanging out where sports meets that thing called life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You know it's TGIF, it's Friday. I'm excited. There's a lot of things to unpack, a lot of things to get into, a lot of fun to be had here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So definitely looking forward to that and bringing that to you here on the broadcast this morning as we set you off into your weekend. The weather's been fantastic, and we have a lot of great stuff coming up here on today's broadcast of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, our signature segments, of course. A lot of great things coming up for you wherever you are. If you're sitting at home hanging out, if you're with the kids, if you're taking a walk, if you're with your dog or the cat, or, wherever you may be, at work, driving somewhere, or if you are on vacation, right, or heading out somewhere. So running errands, whatever you're doing, we're happy to be here with you on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I can't thank you enough for letting us be a part of your day every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life. And as I was saying, there's a lot of great stuff coming up today, and an awesome giveaway is going to be coming up today too. And I told you yesterday on our social media that I'd be releasing that, so you got to stay tuned, because I'm going to be showcasing it here in studio during the broadcast, so you don't want to miss it. Proudly brought to you by Witty Wicks. A lot of something really awesome coming up for you in a giveaway that we're going to do today. So I can't wait to do that from inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Tons of great stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call. We're going to start things off inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' by bringing you the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then Lead, Learn, Evolve, Adlib, and Deliver, brought to you by the wonderful people of Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And we're going to start this off, today's lead is going to be based around the topic of don't miss the moment. The topic don't miss the moment is going to be for lead today. So we'll talk about exactly what we mean by don't miss the moment. I mean, to some people that's self-explanatory, but some people miss a lot of moments. So we'll be discussing that around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then from there, we'll jump into our Top Dog of the Week announcement, announcing the top dog for this week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And then we'll get into our Pacer Pride special with Jen Carleton of Marywood University's women's basketball program for the Pacers. Love having Jen on the broadcast. Always excited to have Jen. And she'll be joining me here in just a little bit to speak on recruiting, about building a strong and positive culture within her team, about what she's done here to build up this team and do it her way and do it the way that she feels is truly right. And that including a massive approach and spotlight to building quality over quantity. So we'll talk about all of that. And like I said, the recruiting side of thing, we'll spend a lot of time on that and how this team is made up this year of transfers as well as freshmen coming into the program. So a lot of great stuff to build us and get us ready for basketball season with Jen Carleton, as well as the camps that she's worked on and the importance of those. So a lot of great stuff coming up in Pacer Pride a little bit earlier today at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. So don't miss a moment of that. A lot of great stuff here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this in the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by the fantastic people at Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It is what happy tastes like. And so we'll start things off with Carvel here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in the annoying moment of the week. You never know what I'm going to say. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Sometimes I don't know. So here we go with the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I'm really honest. I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for today. My annoying moment has got to be dating in the 21st century, right? Dating in the 21st century, because it's weird. It doesn't make sense. And you just realize there's so many just interesting birds out there, right? You know, I kind of feel like I'm got binoculars in the wild and I'm going, wow, it's a really interesting bird, right? But see, the good thing about having binoculars in the wild is the bird you think can't see you, it can't follow you home, talk to you, and say things, right? You're just like, okay, that's a nice bird. We're going to keep that bird right where it is. We're going to keep that bird at bay. So you never know what you're going to get. You never know what's coming. And I mean, folks, it has been an interesting road in the world of dating in the 21st century. I can say it, you can say it, and it's real life, you know? You got to date on apps now. You got to swipe through people like you're looking for a hotel. It's just crazy. Good morning to Mom. So, Mom, so happy that you're here for this conversation because it's probably going to get interesting. But the annoying moment of the week, right? Dating in the 21st century, how weird it is, how awkward it is, right? You get on an app, you got to fill out all this stuff. Sometimes you got to lend your voice to it. You don't know what people want. You don't know what they're clicking on, what they're not clicking on. I had a friend tell me, oh, you gotta take a picture of your body like this, and then you got to sit like this, and then you got to show your whole legs, and then you got to do a serious face, but then you got to do a happy face. And I'm just sitting here going like, why can't you just be yourself? But you don't know if, and then people get anxiety, right? Does this picture work? Is this a good picture? Should I do a close-up? Should I do a far away? Should I show my body? Should I just show my face? Should I show my eyes? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do a goatee, non-goatee? And all the while, you're filling out this information. You're typing in like, oh, this is what I'm about. This is what I do. Then you're like, okay, well, I'm Catholic. Do I say I'm Catholic? Because some people don't like Catholics. Some people have a different view of Catholics. Do they not know that I'm open to Jewish people? Is that okay? Are Jewish people open to me? And you're trying to sift through this, right? You're trying to find the right dating app because you don't know which one's good and you don't know which one makes sense. And then the app wants to make money. So then the app is going to let you swipe, but then it's going to restrict you. It's going to let you do this, but then it's going to take this away. And, well, if you pay for this, and then some of them, it's like they show you the same people. You're like, do I click on them twice? Do I not click on them twice? But dating in the 21st century, it's just weird. And then throw in a pandemic, right? People were already cynical. They were already weird. They were already strange. They already thought the worst of people, right? I dated 3 guys named Roger and your name's Roger, so you're probably going to be a dick. You know what I mean? It's the truth. And, I mean, it's just so nuts out there in today's world, right? Because I'm not the type of guy to bother somebody. It's not how I am, right? You go in the grocery store, you see an attractive girl, she's looking at the lettuce, You know you have to get lettuce, so you're walking over to get the lettuce. Then maybe sometimes you don't need the lettuce, but you think I should go get lettuce because she's right there. Then you look at each other, you might smile, but you throw in a pandemic with everything else going on, the fact this girl probably gets hit on when she goes out in public, and you don't want to bother her, but then she might be jaded, then she's cynical, then she's upset. And I was talking to one of my close friends, Brandon Smith. I'm going to shout out Brandon. What's up, Brandon? So Brandon and I were, I don't know why I used your last name, but I did. So Brandon and I were talking, and I said to him, I'm like, I'm kind of done, right? I'm kind of done. I said, I'm kind of at that place where I just don't want to deal with it anymore, right? Yeah, I don't want to deal with dating. I don't enjoy it, right? I don't enjoy dating because the reason why I don't enjoy it is that, so many people have wasted my time. And, I told him, I said, you get to a point where eventually you feel like you're going to get cynical, right? You feel like you're going to be in a place where you're just going to go, I don't believe anybody. I don't believe what anybody says about anything. And you get to that level of, yeah, I don't think anybody tells the truth. I don't think anybody's going to be honest about anything. It's like, and you don't know who you're going to match with, and you don't know who you're going to jive with. So then, I want to be old fashioned. I'm my grandmother's grandson, right? I want to be old fashioned and, bump into somebody, serendipity, right? You bump into someone, they smile, you smile, they say hi, you say hi, and you get to know each other. I don't like dating apps. I don't enjoy those. It's so weird, and I feel bad, right? I don't click on that person, don't click on that person. You feel bad. And then you wonder, like, well, what are they seeing when they see me? Are they even seeing me? And then there's the girls that are stuck up, right? And I'm sure there's guys that are. I'm speaking from my perspective. People, don't get weird on me. This isn't a sexist comment. It's a real comment, right? Men and women, right? Some people think their poo-poo doesn't stink. They think they're the hottest people on the planet, right? So then they look and, I've heard people say before, like, I had like 70 people, like, daily. So, like, I can't even, like, it's just stressful to go through it. And it's just long. And, oh my, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I just have so many people. And how about this? When a girl tells you, if I want it, I can go get it. I was like, well, for a guy, we consider that to be assault. But, when a when a woman says, oh, I just, if I want to go get it, I'll just go get it. I'll just go get me some, right? Like a grocery store. I'll just go get some because there's so many guys out there just waiting and waiting for us. And I don't know if that's how some guys talk, and if it is, shame on us, but that's not how I speak, right? I don't speak on like, yo, there's so many ladies out there want a piece of this, I just go out and I gets me some. Like that, that's not reality, right? I love who I am. I love what I can offer. But see, that's the thing. I'm a genuine person trying to offer genuineness in today's fake world. And it's not easy to do that. Right? In today's app world, you don't know if pictures are real. You don't know if people are real. People match with you, then they don't talk to you. And it's like, what's the point of matching and then not talking? It's like walking up to somebody, saying hello, and then just standing there. That's what I consider when you're on an app and somebody matches with you and doesn't talk to you. It's like you're face to face and they're like this. And you're like, hey. And they're like this. And then you're like, how are you? And then by that third comment, they run away. It's just a weird world, right? And people, stop thinking your poo-poo don't stink. Everybody's poo-poo stinks. So, it's just, but it's like, I go to the park and I walk Lily and you see an attractive girl, right? And you want to smile and you want to say hello. But then I've seen some girls that they walk and they're like starting to walk by you and then they're like rushing themselves and they're just bobbing. And they got the sunglasses on and they're like, can't look. And it's like, it makes you look like you're too good. And then it makes me go, I don't want to talk to anybody. And then after like 2 or 3 of those people where you're not saying anything, I'm walking Lily, right? And you just look to go like, hey, how are you? How's your day? Right? People say always leave a positive energy. Leave yourself open. But the reality of it all is people are weird. And people are closed off. And people are cynical. And people are like freaking out over the pandemic. I won't date anybody that's not vaccinated because they're an alien. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then there's the other side, right? I won't date anybody that's vaccinated because America. You know what I mean? And you don't, it's just everything in this world is making it harder and harder and harder. And then on top of all that, people lie. People don't tell the truth, right? Dating apps are like social media. People don't, I tell the truth on my social media, but that's me, right? Because I don't want you to call, well, I don't do this because of this, but it's like, if you lie to people, you have to remember every lie you tell, and not everybody you told it to. I've dated plenty of people that lie to me. They can't remember what they said 5 minutes ago, right? And you call them out, and then they get mad, right? How dare you challenge me? Well, I'm challenging you because you lied. How dare you lie? How about that? How about those apples, Holmes? But it's the annoying moment of the week because it's just so weird in today's world to be genuine, to be honest, to be true. It's weird to people, right? And I don't like dating apps, and I don't like that stuff. I would rather go to a mixer, which I never thought I would do before, but I'd rather go to a place, right? You go to a hotel, they got a room reserved, and you have that speed dating, right? And you go there, and you like sit down with somebody for 5 minutes, and you get to know them, right? Elevator pitch, I guess. I don't know. And then boom, next person, then boom, next person. But like, you go to an event. Like I went to an event last weekend with my mom, and there's a ton of women there. Ton of women at this event, right? And you think like, you say hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? But it's like, it's so hard. And I don't know how many women go up to men, but this is something where women talk about equality, and I say, okay, then do this. Come up to us. Because as a man, it's so difficult. We're thinking like, we're walking up to you and we're thinking, is she with somebody? Are they in the bathroom? Are they going to try to fight me? Is she going to say she's not with somebody, but she's really with somebody? Is she married? Is she not married? Is she engaged? Does she care? Is she crazy? Does she want to be around us? Does she want to talk to us? Is she cynical? Is she going to yell at us when we get up there? Is she going to ignore us? Is she going to be somebody that's going to be really nice? So you buy her drinks and you give her free stuff and then she goes home with somebody else or by herself? For a man, it's difficult. It's difficult to just walk up and say hello because we don't know what we're going to get. We have no idea. We could get a hi, how are you? Or we could get a hello. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Like that scary, you never know. And I watched a movie last night about this dating, about Matt, getting going on a blind date was this one. And you don't know what you're going to get. Now, his ended up turning out being a good thing. I'm not going to ruin the movie for you, and I'm not going to tell you where it is because I don't want you to, I don't want you to ruin it. It's a good David Spade movie. I'll tell you that much. David Spade. But, the difference between hi and hello, it's very, it's not as far off as you think, especially today. And people are notorious for wasting time, and that's one thing. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is when you waste my time. Because my time is precious. It's valuable. If I'm spending time with you, I'm not spending time with my mom. I'm not spending time with my dad. I'm not spending time with my family. I'm not spending time with Lily. I'm not spending time with my friends. I'm not spending time doing my job, which I love to do. I'm not spending time traveling. If I'm spending time with you and you're wasting it, there's a million other things that I can do, right? And so I have 99 blessings, and I don't need this one issue, and so it's so hard in today's world. And and because of social media and because of everything now, I try to use it for good, right? But because of what social media has become and how detached people already were, lack of personal responsibility, lack of like communication skills and just being a human, you add in all this social media. When you do bump into somebody in public, they don't even know how to talk to you sometimes because this is all they know. This is all they know, right? They're with their friend at lunch texting their other friend. Then they go hang out with the friend that they were texting, and they're texting back to the friend that they were just in front of that they couldn't talk to. They can't even look up. They can't keep eye. You know how hard it is for somebody to give you eye contact? My parents always taught me eye contact. Look someone in the eye. If you meet a girl and you go home and you go to her house, you pick her up, shake her dad's hand, look him dead in the eye, straight in the eye, right? But I do that with everybody. I took it one step further. I look everybody in the eye. When I'm talking to you, I'm constantly giving eye contact. I'm shaking your hand. I'm shaking mom's hand. I might give mom a hug, right? Shake dad's hand, talk to them both. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. But it's like, because of social media and all this detachment and all this fakeness and all this like people parading around social media, like they have millions of dollars and they have nothing, like they have this and they don't have that, all this airbrushing and this moving and changing and manipulating the body. When you finally are in front of somebody, they don't even know how to say hello. They don't have people skills. And they're just like totally out of whack. You know? I like when a woman is confident, right? I like when a woman is confident, and I would love a woman to come up and say hello to me. Because as a man, and all the years that I put in to being a gentleman, it's so hard. It's so hard. I love that. Greg said there's so many good David Spade movies. Never thought anybody would say that to me. And shout out to David Spade. But I feel like I'm the David Spade. Like, to me, I'm the David Spade of my friend group now, which is crazy. But they're all married. Some of them have kids. And I'm Mr. Single Mingle guy, right? I'm Mr. like, hi. You know what I mean? I've never been that guy. That's a joke. I've never been like the party, you jump up on something and dance around. But this is what I'm, the David Spade now. I'm the David Spade from Grown Ups, where like everybody goes to the cabin, everybody has a spouse or fiance, whatever. Everybody's married, kids, and then there's me, right? There's me going, haven't met her yet, haven't found her yet. And it's difficult in today's world. And it's the annoying moment of the week because the pandemic made it more difficult. Social media made it more difficult. These stupid dating apps made it more difficult. You feel, does somebody like me today? Oh, no. Does somebody like me? Oh, let me talk. Oh, they didn't talk for me. Oh, it's been 7 days. Oh, it's been 12 days. Oh, it's been, and it's like, you never know. Like, is this person on this app and are they dating someone and then they're talking to you? Are they not talking to you because they're on a date with somebody? Are they with someone and they're looking for somebody else? You don't know. That's the thing. You never know. When you walk up to somebody, you don't know. You have no idea who they are, what they're about, how crazy they are. God willing, how sane they are. But I believe most of those have left planet. But dating today, it sucks. It's so hard on people. And it's not fair. It's not fair. Because some of us had people waste our time and we're single at this point in our lives because somebody stupid came in, threw a bunch of lies into a pot, mixed it up, we ate it, thought it was good, and found out that stew is going to give you dysentery in about 24 minutes. It's not, some of us that are single, it's not our fault that we are. And then you see the crazy people, they keep dating. And you're like, gosh, they're spreading that crazy, baby. That's a pandemic. The people that you date that you're like, all this stuff they did to me, and they keep finding people, and they can keep spreading this disease, and then here's you trying to be a good person, and you're by yourself, and you don't find it, and you don't bump into it. Then you get cynical. Then you don't want to deal with it because you tried to say hi to this person, and this happened, and you tried to do this, and this happened, and you tried the dating app, and that happened, and you tried to smile when you were walking the dog, and that happened. Then you get cynical. Then you're like, screw you. I don't want to talk to anybody, right? And then it really comes down to the fact that you end up saying to your friends, hey, if you know somebody, you know me well enough. If you know somebody, why don't you send me their way? Or send me their way or them my way, whatever. Because there's no real easy way to do it. And I'm my grandmother's grandson. And what I mean by that is like, I believe in chivalry. I believe in holding the door. I believe in pushing your chair in. I believe in you not being a psychopath after 3 weeks. It's, I believe in you not staring at the wall for an hour and a half, right? Looking like the girl from The Ring with the hair down. There's things that you hope in, and that's the thing, when you're single and you finally meet somebody, when they're crazy or they waste your time or they had a boy. I dated one girl, this guy came to her house freaking the heck out. She told me it's her ex-boyfriend. It wasn't. She was still dating him. So then I look like the jerk because she didn't break up with him. And then ironically, down the road, we never broke up. We literally never broke up. I just was like, I can't deal with the craziness anymore, and I walked away. But I don't think she's broken up with hardly anybody she's ever dated. She's got like 72 boyfriends. Thank God she didn't get married. You know, she'd have to move out to Utah, become a Mormon, so she can have 42 husbands. But it's like, where is the honesty? Where is the kindness? And you never know. You never know, right? I worked as a server, and my dad said to me, he goes, don't ever date a server or bartender because they're paid to flirt. They're paid to be nice. You don't know, even if you're working with them, you don't know if they really like you or if they just want tip money, right? And so it's, and see, I was never like that as a server, but you get it, right? You don't know if those people are kind. People in customer service, you don't know if you don't know. So you meet somebody in a store, you don't know if she's being kind or he's being kind, or if they actually want to date you, if they're just trying to make money and get you to buy something. You don't know that. That's the tough part of it. When you go out in public because you don't want to shut yourself in, you go out in public and there's so many jobs that people, you don't know if they're nice because they're selling something or if they really want to talk to you. Then you add in the dating apps. Then you add in the fact that people can airbrush and change everything. Then you add in the fact that a lot of crazy people know how to hide for at least a few weeks. They're crazy. And then it starts to come out. And then it's out. And then it's here. Right? So you never know. So I'm the type of person where I don't shut myself in the house. I go out in public. But when the people at the park think their poo-poo doesn't stink, when the bartender and the server are paid to sell you things and they want a nice tip, when all this stuff's going on, and then you go out and other people are on their phone and they can't look up and they're scared and they're nervous and you don't know, and then you go to a restaurant, you go to a bar, and then you think to yourself, well, that girl's alone, but then you're thinking, why is she alone? Is it because she's crazy? Is there a guy in the bathroom that's coming out here soon? You never know. You never know. And it puts people in a place in the world of today's dating where we don't understand what to do, because you don't believe in good people. We are good people, but you don't believe in us, and you end up going home with the crazy dude or the mean girl, and you have a nice fun couple days, 3 weeks, maybe a month or two, and then you're back at it again, and you got more wear and tear on the tires, and we're still the good people. But eventually we get cynical. We don't become bad people, but we get cynical. We start thinking, if I like it, I'm not going to put a ring on it. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy. You know? And that's the world that we live in. We live in this world where we don't know what's real anymore. Because social media, which has been so good for my business, is so bad for people personally. It causes you to constantly put yourself up against somebody. You're constantly checking. Everybody becomes an FBI agent. Everybody becomes paranoid a little bit. Everybody wonders, why is their life better than mine? Why do they have that? And you got to work your way out of that. Right? You start dating somebody, you go on their social media profile. Well, who's this guy? Well, why is he saying that? Well, why is she talking to him? Well, what's going on here? Well, why is she... You know what I mean? It was the same thing with AOL. It was the same thing with AOL Instant Messenger. You wonder. And it should be a lot harder for people to cheat these days because there's a billion places to catch them. But people still do. People still do. And it's just got to a point where it's the annoying moment of the week. Because if you are a single person who's been wronged over and over again, who's made mistakes, learned from your mistakes, had people made mistakes against you, learned from their mistakes. The funny thing is, they don't usually learn from their mistakes. From my experience, I learned from their mistakes, but they just keep being themselves. Hopefully they learn from them. I can't speak on it because I don't see them, but it's so hard today to be a person that genuinely loves people, that wants to have somebody love them back, that wants to have that beautiful story. I'm not going to call it a fairy tale because it's real. Wants to have a real, genuine love story. See, but my love, I want so much. My standards are so high. And what I mean by that is, I'm not a take a day off guy. I love you Monday, Tuesday. I'm taking Wednesday, Thursday off. I'll be back on Friday in the office. I'm not a dad. I'm not somebody who would be a dad who's going to be there, not be there. Right? So for me, it's so hard to find somebody because people don't even know how to talk to you anymore and they don't look up from their phone. But on top of all of that, if you actually find somebody, then my standards are higher because I don't want an everyday love. I don't want a mediocre. I have fought the mediocre. My mom said to me one time, she goes, why don't, instead of finding somebody that has everything you want, why don't you find, and I'm not saying like she's got to have these legs and this color hair. No, I'm saying like kindness, generosity, comedy, things that everybody should ask for, in my opinion. Right? She's trustworthy. She supports me. I support her. Right? And I don't ask for something I don't give back. That's something that's big on with me. I don't ask for something I don't give back. So I'm like, oh, I want her to support my job, but I'm not going to support her job. Right? That's not how I am. But you're looking for that. And my mom said to me, she goes, why don't you find somebody who's like almost everything, right? You know, what if they're like everything, but they're missing a few things? And I said, I already married that woman. I already did that. I already married somebody who was most of the things, but not everything. And look at what happened. So I'm either going to be single for the rest of my life, or I'm going to find somebody that doesn't leave me wanting more. And I don't leave her wanting more. But to find that good person in today's world, it's not a needle in a haystack. It's a needle in a crop field. It's a needle in 4,000 acres of crops, right? And you're battling the aliens trying to beam you up when you're looking for this needle. You know? Greg said I could still hear those AOL opening and closing doors. Yeah, that. You know, I remember those too, man. MySpace. I remember I dated a girl who made me a MySpace. And you couldn't, like, delete them back then. So I don't even know if my MySpace is deleted or not. But I dated this girl who made me a MySpace page. And you could put, like, music on in the background. Then I started to develop it a little bit. But I never really got fully involved with my MySpace. But that's where we're at, right? This is where we are as human beings. Those of us that want to be good and want to love and want to have that fairy tale beautiful romance with somebody that all these women beg for, but you don't take us. You beg for it, but you really don't want it. And then there's men out there that are saying, I want, this, that, whatever, but they don't really want that either. You know, honesty and truth and kindness. It's so hard. It is so hard. Because even if you have the courage to walk up to somebody someday, you don't know what baggage they have. What I would love in life is every time you walk up to someone, if they had bags like they had on a plane, and you could see how many bags they had, and you could see how they were holding on to them, and you could see what was in those bags, right? Is there a severed head? You know what I mean? How many skeletons are in the closet? Like if every time you met somebody, Greg, let's talk about the door, that, you know, how about this? Every time you meet somebody, that AOL door opened and we saw how many skeletons fell out of that closet. You know, how many alive bodies are in there? How many dead bodies are in there? You know, I think somebody's facial expression should depict who they are. I think if you meet a crazy person, they should meet you like this. You know, I think like, because you see this pretty face, but I want to see what's behind the face. It's so hard to walk up to somebody today. Because people are busy, people are cynical, people are worried about germs. People are scared, people are frightened, people have been in the house too long. People only know the phone. And people lie. Right? They lie about their age, they lie about their relationships, they lie about their history. They lie about what they want. They lie about who they are. So to sift through all of that and just find a good person, I got a better chance of piloting a NASA spacecraft to Mars than finding somebody in today's world to date. I got a better chance of piloting a spacecraft to Mars with no prior experience than to find somebody today who is honest, real, good, genuine, responsible, loving, caring, I got a better chance of finding a woman who puts spaghetti on her head every day and calls it her new haircut than I do of finding a normal person. And I mean that. Because I've dated Spaghetti Head many times. And we're going to take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. It's so true. I should do a show on dating. I feel like somebody... I just aired a video and it said Thoughts on Love. I aired it on Facebook and on Instagram. On my personal Facebook page and on my Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. I didn't promote it. I didn't hashtag it. And I've had over 300 people watch it as of this morning. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I did it impromptu. And I just spoke on love. I literally just put it up there. I lost a couple friends here on Facebook. That's exciting. Wonder if it had anything to do with the reality that I just threw out there. But, so... yeah, this video that I put up here, just my thoughts on love, right? Here it is. It's just me talking about it. And people have responded to it in droves and listened to it and appreciate it. Amy said she watched it. Thanks, Amy. Mom said she loves this. I appreciate it, Mom. Well, Ma, you know the crazy stories. My mom and I are like this. But see, my mom's a good person. And my grandmother, G-Mama, if they could make a woman like her, oh my Lord. I mean, at this point, it's like, where do you go? I might go to SeaWorld and ask whatever killer whale's there what it's doing Friday night. Because I got a better chance of speaking to a whale. Maybe I can talk to, you know, you know what I mean? Remember in Finding Nemo when Dory talked to the whale? I feel like I got a better chance, right? Of doing that. Finding a nice sea turtle. I don't know. I understand why that woman married the Eiffel Tower. Because it would never lie to her. It would always be what it said it was. It wouldn't show up late. It was always available. The rogues gallery of people that I have dated has just... I mean, the fact that I can still want to date after everything that I've seen is it's insane. It's insane. The fact that I'm still willing to date after everything I've seen. Because the world that I have lived in, I could tell you folks, it's a doozy. There's a lot of comedy. There's a lot to come out on stage someday. I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. You know, Amy likes the sound effects. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it. But that, I mean, it's true. The world that we live in today is crazier than the world that we lived in pre-pandemic. Why? We should be appreciating life right now, right? And if you're a woman that wants a good man, go out and look for him. Be nice to him when he says hello. Well, Dan, I'm cynical because the last 10 guys, they just wanted to sleep with me. I get it. We're all a little bit cynical. We all don't know what you want and what you need. We all don't know what to say. But at some point, somebody's got to bend. Not break, but somebody's got to bend. Someone's got to open, right? You got to be open and you got to be kind. And ladies and gentlemen, please don't think you're the hottest person on the planet because you're not. You know, me as a man dating, I see a woman who thinks, I was at a game last night. There's these girls wearing half shirts, half shirts, basically bras, just wearing them. Beautiful women. I'm not going to say they weren't. Beautiful women. But the way that they looked, it was like, yeah, I got this. You know what I mean? And that's so unattractive to me. If you think you're hot and you think you're great, listen, be confident. That's different. But don't be cocky. Because there's a billion women on a beach in Miami somewhere that look just like you. You know? And that might be hard for people to hear, but it's true. Don't let anybody tell you that you're ugly, that you're stupid, that you're not worth it, that you shouldn't have facial. The girl that I married told me I was not allowed to have facial hair. You know what I mean? I wasn't allowed to have facial hair. And I told her, well, then you're not allowed to have leg hair, but you have it all the time. I don't know when your leg scratches mine if it's mine or yours. That's a problem for me, right? I'm rubbing that bear a little bit. I'm not about that life. If I wanted to hug Yogi, I'd go find him in that park. Was it Yosemite? Was it Yellowstone? I don't know. But Yogi, hey, boo-boo. You know what I mean? Every time she rolled over and touched her leg to my leg, I was like, hey, boo-boo. You know, but let's be better. Okay? Let's be better. If there are any good women left and any good men left, I would love it if we could just find a way to make dating not like Hunger Games. And with that being said, we'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. This has been the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Head out to Carvel every single day of the week, all throughout the year. The weather doesn't matter. What's happening outside, it doesn't matter at all. That flavor is there. That taste is there. The goodness is there. And Carvel and I, longest standing partner that I've had with my company and with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Big shout out to Jay Cartini and the team. Nobody does it better. Listen, not only is Carvel the best ice cream cake ever, but Carvel DeWitt is the place that I'm willing to drive to from wherever I am in central and upstate New York because of the people, because of how much they care, because of how great they are, and because of everything that's right there for us. So don't just go to Carvel. Go to Carvel DeWitt. 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. We'll take a step aside. When we come back, we'll have Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, focusing today on the topic, Don't Miss the Moment.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvelanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out where sports meets that thing called life. Happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're hanging out on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, and MixLR.com, all / Wake Up Call DT to make it easy. YouTube and Facebook, live video and audio. MixLR.com is where you will find our live radio feed, so make sure you check us out there. Much appreciation to everybody that has, and we're also on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage, broadcasting live on the MixLR feed that's there embedded to our website, and you can find us on facebook.com/livenowdt. So, with that being said, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, head out to Cafe Kubal and fill your cup up right every Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all throughout the week. Head out to Cafe Kubal and show them some love. 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse. And 401 South Salina Street also has beer on tap now, so you can go out there on the weekend and have some more fun in a very uniquely put together coffee shop that also has that, nighttime scene. So make sure you go out to Cafe Kubal, show some love. 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse, and their drive-through as well, and on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So make sure you head out to all their locations today. The one closest to you, send your friends, coworkers, family, head out to Cafe Kubal and support local. With that being said, I'm going to be unveiling my giveaway in just a little bit here, but we're going to jump back into Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory's What's Poppin', and LEAD, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver is the acronym that's here on Wake Up Call every single Friday right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Today's topic, don't miss the moment. And that seems pretty self-explanatory, but many of us miss the moment, right? Many of us don't pay attention to the moment. So I love that y'all are laughing this morning and having a good time. I appreciate it. And Amy said, bring the chocolate crunchies back. Yeah, there's been a nationwide shortage of crunchies, which is crazy, but definitely working on it over at Carvel. So I mean, jumping into LEAD here. Don't miss the moment, right? Don't miss it. Right? We spend so much time thinking about the past, and I'm guilty of this, right? I'm guilty. Put the cuffs on, right? I know it. But I got to break those cuffs off. Don't miss the moment. We focus on the past and the future. It's so crazy. The only thing you can affect is the present. The only thing you can affect is the present. The only thing you can affect is the present. Yet, we focus on the past and the future. But here's the irony. If you live your past to the fullest and you don't miss the moment, you have the opportunity of creating a past you want to look back on and a future you want to look forward to. The present directly affects the past and the future, positively or negatively, depending on how you are and what you do. We focus on, man, I went through all this garbage, yada, 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 and bring it back to dating from the annoying moment of the week. If you focus on whatever somebody else did to you and everything that happened to you in the past, you're going to miss the moment. You're going to miss a guy like me walking up to you because you're going to say, every guy is this, and he wants this, and he does this, and he doesn't listen to this, and he doesn't care about that. And that's not true, right? Don't miss the moment. You have to live in the now, in the here and now. Because if you miss what's right in front of your face, it may never come back again. People do that. We think, I didn't need to take that job. I was too nervous to go to the interview, but it'll come back. It may never come back, right? Well, that person, I wasn't ready for that person in my life. Did you ever date somebody who tells you, you're the right person for me, but in the future? I think in the future, I had one girl tell me, I know that this isn't the last time we'll talk to each other. I know God will cross our paths again. You don't know anything. What you do know is what is here right now, right? Somebody puts a steak in front of you, cooked as however you like it. They put the steak in front of you and you go, I don't want the steak right now, but I want this steak 3 weeks from now. Restaurant could burn down. Restaurant could close. Restaurant could not be open that day of the week. You could be in a different part of town. They could run out of steak. Or you could get a steak and it's not done as well as this one's been done. To perfection. Right? And I'm not saying that any of us are perfect, but I'm saying, why do we ask for the steak, get the steak, and then tell the steak, Well, we don't want you right now. We want this steak down the road. We want this steak at a different time. We'll let you, God, I'll tell you when I'm ready for that job and that man or that woman or that situation. I'll let you know when I'm ready. You miss the moment. The moment. That beautiful time in your life, the right now. This is the moment. Dan, how do I know it's the right moment to look for the job I want? Because it's the only moment you have. This is the moment. Dan, how do I know that this is the moment for me to start taking care of myself? Because when else are you going to do it? How do you miss here? And once here is gone, we get depressed, right? We miss the moment, but then we complain about it. We don't enjoy it when we're in it. But when that moment's over, we look back and we go, oh man, if I could have that moment back, I would have done so many things differently. If I could go back 10, 15 minutes, 10 years, I would have done this more. I would have went to do this more. I would have went to visit my grandmother more. I would have gone after that job. I would have asked that girl out. I would have told that boss this instead of that. Do it in the moment. Do it in the moment. Live in the moment. Life is a series of moments. It is a series of moments. And once those moments are gone, they'll never come back again. You don't appreciate the moment when you're in it, but you complain about it when you're out of it. How ironic and ridiculous is it for somebody to not make the most of the moment, but as soon as that moment's gone, say, oh, if I could have that moment back, this is what I would do. That's why you can't afford to be a good person sometimes. You can't afford to be honest sometimes. You can't afford to care sometimes. You can't afford to love sometimes. You can't afford to try sometimes. Because if it's sometimes, it's not all the time. And that means that some of those times you're going to wish you had back. And when you wish you had those moments, see, now I'm not a person that likes to live in regret. I'm not a person that likes to say, oh man, if I could just go back, this is what I would have done. Now, do I have moments like that? Yes. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. And I'm not, and a lot of time when we talk about every time when we talk about on the show, I'm calling myself out in a lot of ways too, because I learn as we learn. I learn from you, you learn from me, I hope. Because that's what I want. I want us to grow. I can't tell you to grow and be shut off to growth. I can't tell you, let me be the water, let me be the sunlight to help you grow. And then I'm a plant that's put myself in the dark in the basement. We got to grow together. But the moment, right? If I had that moment back, I would have told him I loved him. If I had that moment back, I would have spent more time with my friend. If I had that moment back, I would have stopped smoking. I would have stopped doing those drugs. If I had that moment back, I would have said that to my ex-girlfriend. If I had that moment back, I would have never left that job. I tell people this all the time. Are you alive right now? Are you alive right now? Are they alive right now? Then call that boss. Call that girl. Call that guy. Call mom. Call dad. Call your sister. Call your brother. Call your grandparents. Call that friend. You want to know what'll really make you know if somebody cares about you? If you're like me and you do most of the work, take a step back. Take a step back. Don't make it so easy for everybody to have all your time all the time. And watch the people that don't call you. Watch the people that don't try. Watch the people that don't apologize. Watch the people that don't make an effort. Effort is 99% of the battle. Effort. Showing up. Did me and my dad always agree growing up? No, but he was there. He was there. I didn't grow up without a father. We're not the same person. But I didn't grow up without a dad. And I can't get into a conversation with somebody who says, I never had my dad around. And I'm like, well, my dad was around. He wasn't everything that I am, and I'm not everything he is. But he was around, which is better. Because that person would say to me, did you have a laugh with your dad? Yeah, I laughed with him. Did you cry with him? Yeah, I cried with him. Even though you guys aren't the same people, did you have moments with dad growing up where he was there for you? Yeah. Well, my dad was never there. Right? My dad didn't even give himself a chance to be there. That's what somebody can say back to you. You have to think about things and make them relative. Understand what you have. It may not be everything you want it to be, but you have a choice in life and what you do and who you react to and who you spend your time with. I am forced in certain situations to be around people that I don't want to be around because that's part of what I'm doing, right? If you go to an arena, there's 30,000 people there. You didn't decide to be around those 30,000 people. You decided to be around the person you're sitting next to. But those other 30,000 people, that wasn't your choice. But when you're in your home and you're having dinner at your house and you have a dinner party, you don't have to invite those 30,000 people. You invite the people that you want. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 30. But you get to choose. You get to choose who comes to your graduation party. You get to choose who comes to your anniversary party, to your birthday party. You get to choose who you date and who you spend your time with. I'm so sick and tired of people telling me I'm married to this person. They make me so unhappy. They treat me like this, but I'm going to stay. I just had a conversation with somebody recently. They have a baby with somebody. They're not married to that person. And the relationship sounds not great. But you know what they said? I'll learn eventually. I said, no, you learned right now. If you're saying that right now, that means you have the wherewithal to know that it's not the right place for you, but you stay. You sit there and you stay. And I said, why are you going to do that to yourself? Right? And you know what I realized? That's not a tree I want to bark up. Because that person knows they're in the wrong place. They know they're not in a fruitful place. They know they're not in a healthy place. And they keep giving themselves excuses as to why they're there. But they're there. And you know what that tells me? That person doesn't make good decisions. It tells me that person doesn't live in the moment. It tells me that person doesn't genuinely care about their life because they're getting older and ain't nothing changing. So why would they care about me? Right? If and when the right person came along, they wouldn't even know it because they're making excuses for sitting with the wrong person. Well, I'm doing it for my kid. You're not doing it for your kid. You're doing it because you're afraid. You're doing it because you don't want your life to be difficult. You're doing it because mediocrity and settling is enough for you. You're doing it because you don't want to try. Because you don't want to go out there. Because being with anybody is better than being with nobody. And that is a dangerous world. And don't ever say you're doing it for your kid. Because if you're in a relationship that's loveless, it eventually will affect your child. You're not doing it for your kid because eventually that kid's going to grow up. They're going to remember. They're going to pay attention. They're not going to be a baby anymore. And they're going to know when mommy and daddy are fighting. And it's going to be a horrible life for them to know that their parents are together because of them. Then they're going to feel that guilt. Nothing good comes from staying together for the kids. Nothing good comes from that. Because if you hate each other, that's going to spill out. If you're comfortable, that's not love. Well, it's good most of the time. That's not love. If somebody was describing love and they said to me, I had somebody describe it to me one time when he was talking about his spouse. He said, well, I don't want to leave because of the kids, and I don't want to, and it was all this, and I was like, where's the love? Where's the, I love my wife. She means the world to me. I can't imagine my life without her. The day that she or I dies, the other person's got to go like within the next 24 hours because how are we supposed to live without each other? I'm with her because I don't want to pay for a divorce. I'm with her because I don't have the money. I'm with her because I don't want her to take my business. I'm with him because I don't want to have to share my kid. Well, chances are before you had a kid with that person, those issues were there. Unless you did it in the way beginning, right? But if you look back on your life, you didn't have kids and then the problems started. The problems are always there. They're just masked by something. Masked by intimacy. Masked by going on trips. Masked by the fact that you have stuff in common. Masked by maybe comedy or comic relief. Masked by the fact that you don't see each other as much. Masked by the fact that when you guys argued, somebody would just give up. Or pretend like it didn't happen. I don't do that. And I don't think women like that about me. But a day in, a month in, if she says something or does something that hurts me, I'll say, hey, I don't really appreciate that. Could you maybe not do that? Can we talk about it? People don't like that. But you know what I realized when I stayed with those people? is that they wanted me to put it under the rug, under the rug, under the rug, under the rug. And the more time that went by, the more they didn't stop doing bad things, and they didn't stop wanting me to not make them feel bad for doing it. I stabbed you, figuratively. Why are you talking about it? Just bleed out like every other boyfriend I had. If we don't take the moment and appreciate the moment, you could die tomorrow. You could die tomorrow. You could die today. And you're going to be with somebody for my kids, for the tax break. I don't want to give up my house. I don't know who's going to get the couch. People make excuses for everything. Where is the love? Why are you in this job? I get paid a lot of money. I get to travel a lot. Do you like it? No, I hate my job. Well, then what are you doing? You're going to give up 357 days of the year. Listen to me. You're going to give up 357 days of the year. Why are you saying 357, Dan? Because you're working that job that you hate for 357 days so you can go on that 8-day vacation to Aruba. Well, if I didn't have this job, I couldn't go to Aruba. I would rather hitchhike away onto a plane and sleep with the luggage on the belly of the plane and then have to live in a hammock in Aruba for 8 days than go to a job for 357 days that I don't like just so I can have 8 days. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And you're missing the moment. And eventually, you're going to get to a point where you stayed married to that person. You stayed in that job. Things that are bad don't get better unless somebody wants to make them better. But I've been warned about something that I can't unhear. And it's when a couple people separately that I don't even think they know each other said to me the same thing. The problems you face in a relationship now are problems that will only get worse once you get married. And I would say that about friendship. I would say that in work, right? If your boss is mean and cold-hearted, doesn't care about your family, wants you to work all over hours of the day, doesn't pay you what you should be compensated for, and is constantly texting you and emailing you at 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, that's not going to get better. If somebody's flirting with people when you start dating, that's not going to get better, right? If somebody's lying to you in the beginning of your relationship, it's not going to get better. If you have a friend that doesn't put in effort, it's not going to get better. I have a friend that I thought was my best friend for 12 years. The person he is today is the person that I was warned of in moments for years, all the way up to now. And it doesn't get better. Okay? There's a reason why they call them red flags, and I really like, this is the one thing I'll take from a dating app, there's a thing now called green flags, right? Where you can say if somebody gave you like a positive, right? A green flag. Like love, honesty, generosity, those are green flags, right? So, calls me, doesn't wait for me to call them, green flags. When God shows you red flags, we go, nah, that's more magenta. I think that's a little off red, little pink. I don't know if that's red. I might be colorblind, right? We all act like we're colorblind to green and red flags. They're very clear, right? When I look back on the relationship that I don't have anymore, the red flags were everywhere. And I kept trying to get by them, get by them, get by them. And then I'd run down the road. I'd run away from that moment. And I'd run to another moment, and there'd be a red flag there. It would just follow me. You know, like those paintings, like the Mona Lisa, that no matter where you are, she's staring at you. Those red flags were staring at me no matter where I ran in the room. They don't go away. So if you're in a loveless marriage, get out. If you got a problem with your relationship with your kids, fix it. Do something. Try. You can't make the other person change, but you can try. You can't make your parents love you. You can't make your kids love you. You can't make your spouse love you. You can't make your girlfriend or boyfriend love you. You can't make your boss love you. You can't make your friends love you. You can't make your neighbor love you. But you can try to be the best person you could be. And when you see those red flags, understand those red flags. I have neighbors that are really kind, and I have neighbors that are not. I don't talk to the neighbors that are not, and I talk to the neighbors that are. Because why am I going to put myself around negative energy? Now, if I see that person, I might wave and say hello. And they might casually, hello. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to be mean, but I'm not going to waste my time. There's a difference, right? There's a difference between I'm going to ignore you and I'm going to put so much effort into making myself pissed because now you're wasting energy, right? Sometimes it's easier to just go up to someone and say, hello, and keep walking than it is to try with all your might to ignore them. But we're missing the moment. We're missing the moment in life because we're wasting it. We're wasting it on people that shouldn't have it. If somebody doesn't respect you, they don't love you, they're not good to you. That's a boss, that's a friend, that's a family member, that's blood, that's a spouse, that's a partner. If they don't treat you good, they're not going to. They're not going to. Every relationship I've been in that showed me red flags, friendships, family, romantic relationships, every single one of them that showed me red flags, if I go back to every single one of them and I tell you that I saw the red flags and what happened after I stayed, it only got worse. It never got better. It never got better. And I'm not saying people can't change. I've changed. I'm not saying people can't change. But living in the moment is understanding that when you keep waiting for the next moment, oh, Dan, I can't believe that somebody texted that to me this week. I'm eventually going to understand what I need to do in my relationship. I'm eventually going to get it. That's what they wrote to me. I will eventually leave. Not even leave, but I'll eventually get it. And I said, well, you're getting it right now. If you're saying that to me, you're telling me that you already know. You're just not leaving. You know? And it doesn't help. I'm a grown man. My parents got divorced with me grown. And it hurt. Because I knew more than a decade ago that it wasn't good. So my parents staying together for me, if that's what they did, it didn't make anything better. It made it the same. It made it the same. Right? All it did was take time and moments from my dad and from my mom. It just took time. It took time away from them. It took time away from goodness and positivity. It took time away. And you're never going to get it back. We all live like we're going to live forever on this planet. Now, there is everlasting life, and I believe in God. And that's the only way to it, in my opinion. But we don't have everlasting life here on this earth, right? You can't just keep going. And why would you? Why keep racking up bodies, right? I had a teacher hit me with some knowledge. I had a teacher hit me with some real knowledge. Perfect for lead. She's my religion teacher. She said to me, what that girl did to you, yeah, it wasn't right. But you let her. You let her. Because you saw it, you knew it, and you let it continue to happen. You let her treat you the way. And some people can get really defensive about this, but this is where I need you to grow. Because I needed to grow. Because I got defensive in the past about this. She said, you let her. You are the problem. Because you allowed her to treat you that way. And you didn't walk away. You didn't leave. You did not go away from that. Somebody treated you poorly and you let it happen. You sat there and you took it. You took it. Shame on you. And it's true. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. When the moment isn't good, realize that. The girl I most recently dated, 4 months in, I caught her texting another guy. I caught her texting another guy, and it was vile. I ended my marriage as the icing on the cake when I caught that happening with my ex-wife. This was in the beginning of a relationship. I ended a 7.5-year relationship after I saw that stuff. Now, it was over for a while, but that was like, that made it easy for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is who you are? Okay, well then why don't you just go? The beginning of this relationship started that way, and I said, I'm going to give her a shot. 6 months later, it only got worse. It only got worse. It got progressively disgustingly, horrifically, scarily, undeniably, without question, worse. Because if a person disrespects you, they're going to keep doing it, right? Because they might have nothing to do with you. They just don't respect themselves. Maybe they've been disrespected so many times that they're just paying it forward, right? You can pay forward positivity, but people forget about this. You can pay forward negativity too. I don't suggest that you do, but you can. So we need to learn, grow, evolve, and live in the moment. Because in that moment, when I caught those text messages, I didn't leave. And 6 months later, I paid for it. Figuratively, literally, I paid for it. And in the words, the smart, wisdom-fed words of my teacher, you let it happen. Right? When we're the victim, we feel bad for ourselves. But then when you surround yourself with good people that aren't yes men and yes women, when you surround yourself with those people, they'll tell you the truth. You let her hurt you. You knew who she was and you let her do it. Shame on you for letting it happen. You're hurting more today than you would have when you left that day. Because when you left that day, you were okay leaving. Because you knew it was wrong and you knew you weren't going to put up with it. And you drove home. And you had a moment of realization, serenity, and peace to move forward. But then you let it continue. And it only went off a cliff. So learn, grow, evolve. Ad-lib. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, deliver. That's what lead is. That is this segment. And that's what I'm asking of you right now and of myself. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, deliver. Learn from what's happening to you. Evolve. Don't let it keep happening to you. Walk away. Walking away doesn't mean running. It means preserving. It means saving. Ad-lib. When things don't go your way. When it doesn't make sense. When the plan isn't the plan anymore. Right? My plan was to marry. But it didn't happen. Ad-lib. It's okay. You can say no. You don't have to do it. You don't have to walk down that aisle. And deliver. 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 Be who you say you are. Deliver on that promise to yourself. I'm never going to let somebody treat me like this again. I'm never going to let somebody do this to me again. I'll never put up with this again. Then keep that promise. And be the best you can be. This is Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by the fantastic teams at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. You can also see our special video piece every single month with team members of Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for further positivity, faith, journey, and real-life stories by checking out The Light Between Us. All episodes airing on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we'll have our top dog of the week. And coming up in just a few minutes, Jen Carleton joins us for Pacer Pride in our Marywood University exclusive content. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios where sports meets that thing called life. Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York, inside of their double-decker cafe on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius. I call it the Manlius Welcome Center because it's where all roads converge into Manlius. And you can also find them by going to the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road to Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse to their drive-through location. With that being said, Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com is what's poppin', bringing you the list of topics for the day. Brought you the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Lead, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, which means it's now time for our signature segment here every Friday as well, the top dog of the week. Proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. Our top dog of the week for this week, well, it could be you. You could be the top dog of the week. And I'm going to tell you why. So, going off of what we talked about in Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver, you can be the top dog of the week, right? It doesn't have to be somebody else. It can be you. And I'm going to tell you how. You can be the top dog of the week by taking control of your life, right? We started the show off talking and joking around about, dating, but also giving you truth, right? And how it is right now. And on top of that, in Lead, I asked you not to miss the moment. Now, I'm asking you to not wait for someone to be a top dog for you. I'm asking you to do it for yourself. I'm asking for you to be your own top dog. Because we put our happiness in other people's hands all the time. Right? My mom will make me happy. My dad will make me happy. If I have this job, I'll be happy. If I have this girlfriend or boyfriend, I'll be happy. If this person says yes to the dance, I'll be happy. If I get that car, I'll be happy. If I get that money, I'll be happy. Why not just be happy? So my top dog of the week, you. Because I believe in you. I believe that you can be your own top dog. You can be the reason why you're happy. You can be your best friend. You can be, because the thing is, you might think someone's your best friend and they don't show up. You might think that somebody is the love of your life and they won't show up. You might think that that's the right job and it doesn't work out. You might think this is where you're supposed to live and you don't live there. We wait for other things outside of ourselves to give us what we need inside. How ironic and strange is that if you actually describe it and think about it that way? Happiness is within you, but we give it to things outside of us to make us feel good inside. Well, how can we feel good inside from the outside? We have to create that. You got to be your own furnace of love. You have to be your own furnace of love. I've never said it like that before. I'm going to say it again. You have to be your own furnace of love. What does that mean? You got to burn bright for yourself. You got to love yourself up. Because 100% of, you're never going to get, 100% of people that you love, they're not all going to 100% love you back. Right? 100% of the jobs you apply for, you're not going to get all those jobs. Right? You're not going to get 100% of the jobs you apply for. You're not going to get 100% of the yeses that you seek. You're not going to get 100% of the people that you ask out to go out with you. You're not going to get 100% of the friends you want to get. You're not going to ever have 100% from the outside, but you can give 100% from the inside. The only thing you can control in your life is yourself. So control it. Love it. Love you. That's what I want you to do today. Be your own top dog. I want you, this is your homework assignment. I want you to tell me, well, not even tell me. I want you to tell yourself 5 things you like about yourself today. I want you to tell yourself 5 things you like about yourself today. I don't care when you do it, but I want you to do it. Tell yourself 5 things you like about yourself today. 5 things. Right? That's it. 5 things. I can tell you right now. I love my drive. I love that I'm a hopeful romantic and this world has not destroyed my love. I love making people, I love being funny. I believe in my comedy. So I love joking around. Love joking around. Love being a hopeful romantic. I love my drive. I love that God loves me. Or I'm sorry, I asked for things about myself. So, okay. So I love my drive. I love my comedy. I love my being a hopeful romantic. I love how I respond to adversity. And I love the fact that I'm a lot stronger than I think I am. I want you to do 5 things. Say 5 nice things about yourself today. 5 nice things about yourself today. And then do it tomorrow. And then do it the next day. I don't care if it's the same 5 things. Say 5 things that you love about yourself. Because I'm banking on you, right? I'm believing in you. I've already called you the top dog. Now live up to it. Do it. You got this. Okay? Somebody somewhere loves you. That doesn't matter if you don't love you, right? I've dated people who don't love themselves. You can love them like crazy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you don't love you, it doesn't matter how many people try to love you. It doesn't matter how many materialistic things you have. If you don't love you, nothing makes it better. Ever. If you don't love you. You gotta love you. It's the only way to make your life better. Is to love yourself. Right? I posted on my story on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. No right mind could wrong me this many times, right? You gotta love you. You gotta love you. And if you can do that, which I know you can, believe me, you're the top dog of the week. You're the top dog, right? It's not only Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. and John Legend and Luther Vandross, right? And Aretha Franklin and Maya Angelou and George Lopez and Joe Coy, right? It's not just the big, oh my God, look at all, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle. You can be the top dog of the week by loving yourself. Just love yourself. That's all I want you to do. It's all I want you to do. And report back here next week. Telling me those 5 things I'd love to know. Write them in the comments. Tell me the 5 things you love about yourself. Or don't tell anybody and keep it to yourself because it's an exercise for you. But you're the top dog of the week because you deserve it. So I send you all my love and my peace, positivity. All the stuff that God would give to me, I gladly give to you. Not because I'm God or anything close to that. But because all the blessings I have, hey. If God gave me those beautiful things, I want to share those with you. Top dog of the week, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Speaking of people sharing good things with good people, that's what Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground do. Taking care of your dogs for short and long-term care, respectively, at the Daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse. And right around the corner on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, you will find the Kampground, where each dog gets their cabin and can stay for a while. There's turf, there's places for the dogs to play. They can be by themselves or they can be with other dogs. Some of the dogs in their cabin have televisions because some dogs like to watch TV. Lily does sometimes, not a ton of the time. Shady used to watch TV. So whatever dog you have, whatever size you have, they have places for your beautiful, wonderful members of your family. Do not hesitate. Call Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. You can call Canine Camp Dog Daycare at this number, and that number for Canine Camp Dog Daycare, which you can find on K-9KAMP.com, 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 for Canine Camp Dog Daycare. And for Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, you could get in touch with them for longer-term care for your furry member of your family. You can go to Canine Kampground and call 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Shout out to all my top dogs out there. I love you and I respect you. So keep it going, keep it rocking, and that love and the respect is for real. Well, Dan, how can you love me and respect? You don't know me. Because I respect all human life. And God always said to love your neighbor. So, the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. If I want love and respect, I got to give that, right? It's give and take. And I don't mind spreading positivity. It's the only thing I want to do. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with our Pacer Pride content with the wonderful and ever progressive, positive Jen Carleton. Moving forward, onward and upward with the women's basketball team. A lot of great stuff coming up. If you don't know Marywood, if you don't know the women's basketball team, if you don't know Jen, watch this segment. And if you know any of that, watch this segment. Because Jen, just like everybody else we've had graced the stage here, a fantastic human being with her own individual awesomeness that deserves to get the spotlight. So in our Marywood exclusive content, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, I proudly bring you Jen Carleton, coming up after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5, Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Salsa Q's, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5, Camillus.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Happy to be hanging out with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And you know, every Friday we have a portion of the broadcast set aside for our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the fantastic people at Marywood University. And so we call that Pacer Pride. It is here with us in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership every Friday, right around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And my very special guest here today is none other than Miss Jen Carleton, the women's basketball head coach at Marywood University. We've spoken since she got the job all the way through the process of building this to be her team and to have the culture and the environment that she was hoping to have. So with that being said, Jen, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm excited.
I'm doing very well. And I know you've been busy, and we've been trying to set this up for a minute, but you've been busy. And I bring that up because you've been doing a lot of good things, putting yourself out there with the future of the, potential Pacer world. So let everybody know what you've been up to.
We had our second Marywood girls basketball camp last week. So it was a little bit chaotic. As a college coach, when you get put into a gym with 60 second grade through 8th grade, it's a little bit of a culture shock, but it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. The kids got better, they learned, but the most important thing is that they had fun. And I'm so fortunate and so grateful to have such a great team with our college team, to be able to have some of them be able to come back and help out and volunteer their time, to help our community, to help our youth, and just to promote positive things amongst women's basketball. So it was a great week, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 3, a lot of whistles blowing, a lot of basketballs going, a lot of smiling, a lot of laughing. But we had a great time, and I'm very fortunate to be able to have the time to be able to put that together.
What for you to do something like that? Why is it so important for you to have these camps when you're already busy, you're already doing a ton of things, you're preparing for this upcoming season? Why put more on the plate? What's the significance of it for you?
I think it's a big part of it is just bringing our community into our gym. I love people to see the pride that we have with our court, with our gymnasium, with our athletic facilities here. This is our home, and we love it, so I would love to continue to bring people from the outside of the community to be able to come in and kind of check us out in a different kind of light, a different kind of form. If they can come to camp for a couple days during the summer, and we can help with that love for the game, that fun, that thirst for knowledge for the game. We should be able to get a couple of them back to be able to watch us play this year, be able to bring them in the locker room, be able to kind of walk them around campus. And I think that just kind of bringing the community and, getting the community involved with our women's basketball program and Marywood athletics can go, way beyond just basketball camp. In a couple years from now, they're going to be like, oh, I went to this camp. I remember this. I walked around campus with this coach, and they made a big deal about me in the locker room after the game, and they made me feel good. And I think those things go a long way. So recruiting is always in the back of your mind, no matter what you do. And you just got to think 6 or 7 years from now might be what you do right now with these younger kids might be the impact that they need at that time to make that good decision. So obviously, we want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy it, and we want them to come back on campus for as long as they want to. But at the same time, we would love for them to consider Marywood and be a part of our program as well.
You spoke about the facilities. What do you love about Marywood University's facilities that you like to show off?
Our gym is beautiful. I think it's one of the nicest ones in our conference. Last week was a pretty hot week, just to be able to, use our air conditioning, stay inside, have a couple nice places to have lunch with the girls and everybody at camp. Just to be able to show them what the opportunities they have, not just for this, the 4-day camp, but for later on in life, if they ever want to come visit. It's important for us to show the pride that we have in our facilities, in our university, so we can, help people make that decision later on in life.
Yeah, and you bring up recruiting. So obviously that's something that is an everyday thing, right? It never goes away. So how has recruiting gone, and what can you tell us about the class that's coming in?
I am so excited. This is finally feels like we are solid. Like we're on solid ground. We're on solid rock, and did a lot of, beginning me and you talked about for the last 2 or 3 years, building that solid foundation and, not building on top of a weak foundation because it can easily get broken down. We did it the right way, and we're right in a good spot. So right now we have 14 on our roster, almost 15. I say 15 because we might be adding another one. But we're right at that 15 mark. And I think that that's a really good number. It's actually a little bit higher than I would like. But at the same time, I know that we have the right kind of people that understand our system, understand what we're trying to build, and understand what we've kind of been through in the past to get us into this situation. So I'm really, really excited about this year. We brought in 7. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I do think that we built a lot last year. We built on our basketball last year enough to be able to still have those captains, those primary players be able to continue to still build and grow, and bringing in this group of freshmen and a couple transfers. I think we're in good position. So I'm really, really excited about it.
The transfers that you're bringing in, bring me into working in that transfer world, because the portal is available to everyone, right? And you can go to different divisions within conference, out of conference, and there's really no rules to do something like that anymore. It's not like it used to be. So what can you tell me about utilizing the transfer portal and the specific players you're bringing in?
Well, I mean, just to speak on transfers in general, I'm a big believer in, just because you made a decision, it's not a death sentence. If you're not happy, you have the option to leave and to move on and to be part of something different. I don't agree with using it as something like I want to go complain because I didn't put forth the effort and now it's time to leave, trying to find someone else. So obviously we do our due diligence and we look into things and we make sure they're good people on top of it. Me and you have talked about this many a times before. You could be a great basketball player, but if you're not such a great human, I'd rather pass. And that's just my personal opinion. We're at the position, like I said, it took us a long time to build that solid foundation and to keep moving forward and moving up the line. The last thing I want to do is to bring someone in the mix that doesn't appreciate their opportunity and doesn't take advantage of their opportunity. So, like I said, the most important thing is making sure that they're good people. They have the right mindset. They're out for the right reasons. They're looking for a new opportunity for the right reasons, not just because they don't want to work hard. Or they're just over a certain thing. So we just, we make sure that they understand, and everybody understands, whether you're a transfer or you were recruited as a freshman, that opportunities are there for you to take advantage of, and everyone will have that opportunity to take advantage of it. It's just a matter of what you do with it. So I'm excited for our transfers. I'm excited for our newcomers, and excited for the returners to finally we can all really gel, and I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks can't come soon enough till I get them back on campus.
Can you tell us specifically about these transfers individually, why you brought them in and kind of where they're coming from?
I think a couple of them have connections on the team, which was great for us because they kind of knew my style, which was really nice to be able to, not just, I'm not a big self-promoter. I'm not a big like, hey, look at me. I can, this is what we can do, or this is what our coaching staff can do. But to be able to have our players say that, I think that goes a long way. So it just kind of shows what they're looking for in their next opportunity. So specifically, we brought them in. I mean, we have a couple shooters in there. We have some ball handlers in there. We have players that know the game. That are excited about learning a different aspect of a game, or learning it from a different person. So I do think that the people that we brought in, whether it's freshmen or transfers, they all fit a certain niche that we need, whether it's leadership, whether it's shooting, whether it's defense, whether it's length, whether it's post presence, whatever the case may be. I do think that we did a great job of bringing in different kinds of players, so we can kind of we can rely on each other, we can pull things from each other, we can give and take, and that's really what basketball and team sports are about.
Speaking here with Jen Carleton, Marywood Pacers women's basketball head coach inside of Pacer Pride, on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. I spoke with you, just asked you now about the transfers, and you keep coming back to all of us, right? Why that? Because you seem, you're looking at those freshmen and the transfers cohesive. It's all new faces. You said some of them have connections to people on the team. But when I've asked you to go specific on the transfer, you said, hey, let's look at everybody. Let's look at the freshmen. Let's look at this whole group, because they're all fitting a certain mold, a certain model. Do you believe that you have filled all the cracks, so to speak? I know you got to play the season, you got to get into the season, but things that you thought were missing last year, do you feel like you filled those spots with the freshmen and the transfers?
I do. I definitely do. On paper, I think we filled the cracks. Paper is a different story than, the mentally and a little bit, diving into it a little bit more. But on paper, yes, I do believe that we filled those cracks a little bit, and not just filled them, but made them strong enough that we can withstand some things. And I think that that's really, really important. I think a lot of our issues last year was our depth. We didn't really have that much of it. Our numbers were a little bit low. We were in every single game, whether it was, 5-point game or 6-point game at that very end, or when we had to foul. We were in so many games and we were right there. So I think our depth is really going to help us this year. I think that having a little bit more post presence inside is going to help us. And also, I think a lot of us forget too that we brought in two transfers mid-year last year that really, truly, in their January, February, pretty much just January and February, maybe a little bit of December. We probably had, maybe 15 practices that whole time, just because game practice, and, COVID-related issues and those kind of things. So to be able to finally have a full squad from day one, I think it's just going to help our camaraderie. It's going to help the way that we value each other. It's going to help the way that we move the ball. It's going to help our offense in general, and it's going to help our defensive energy and commitment to getting it done. So if we're going to establish these things early, which I know that we are, it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be fun to watch us grow, and it's really going to be exciting to watch some of these younger players mold into who they're going to be, not just the second half of this year, but for years on. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm on top of those things. I think that we have an amazing group of seniors that love the game, that love each other, that care about not just winning, but they care about how we win and doing it the right way, and making sure that they leave this place better than they than they did when they got here. And I know that they will, because they're committed to not just, like I said, not just to each other, but they're committed to our school and to our community and to making sure that we are putting our best foot forward. Win or lose, we're always going to give everything, and this group has the right core to make sure that that's a given.
The mid-season transfers that you had, what do they do for the building of this season?
100%. They were able to kind of get us a little bit more on the back. Okay, we had low numbers to start out the year. We were able to bring in 2 high quality transfers. So yeah, just because our numbers might not look like we had our stuff together, we did. So we were able to get two transfers to come in to kind of change the way our program was looked at. And now we're able to get some more kids in, more players in, just because of that, that opening people's eyes to what we can get, even though our numbers were low. But at the same time, we're doing it the right way by making sure that we have a mix of transfers, mixture of freshmen, and then put them with our great core that we had the last 2 years, and we have something special. So I don't want to say that we're going to be something really special this year, but in my mind as a coach, that's what I say to myself every day.
and having that. You have the core that's coming back. What can you say about specifically to look at some of those players that have been here, these student athletes that have been here at Marywood for women's basketball, specifically looking at them in an individualistic approach here? The ones that are coming back, what do they individually bring for those that want to get to know this team a little bit better?
Well, on top of it, they bring leadership. Our seniors, like I said, they are very on top of what we need, what to do. They volunteered their time last week to come in to help us for camp, and they don't get paid for those things. That we say to them, okay, can you come in and work camp, and we'll get gear for this, and the money that we raise for camp will be for you guys in this aspect. So they know what they're getting into. But that's not an easy task to say, hey, come away from your family for a couple days, or come away from your job that you're getting paid for a couple days to kind of give back. And that's not an easy thing to do, but they did it without any questions asked, and with a smile on their face and enthusiasm. And that goes to the kind of people they are. So that's specifically something that I'm very excited about, their leadership and the way they've grown over the last couple of years. I also really excited for them basketball wise. I think that every year we've taken a different step forward. And I think that with all their experience coming in over those last couple of years that haven't been the best on paper, but we also know that sometimes, the best of teams aren't the ones that win, they're the ones that get it. And our team last year really got it. And now we're able to put one foot forward and capitalize on those things and build off of those things. So I think that we have great guard presence. I think that we have good ball handling. I think that we can shoot the ball pretty well. We also have stretch fours that can extend the defense. We brought in a couple bigger players that are over 6 foot, so we were able to kind of have some inside presence. We also brought in some length at 5'11" that can shoot as well. So I'm hoping that we can cause some mismatch problems, but I'm really excited for us defensively because I think that we're very long, we're very athletic, and we're very fast. So if we can be able to put those things together the way I hope that we can, I think that we can not worry about our offense as much. We should be able to get some points from our defense, and that's the best way for us, I think.
Is there a leader or two on this team that you want to point out coming into the season?
Savannah Purdy and Jade Rowland, they have been our captains for the last 2 years. 3 years, I think, for Jade, actually. Jade is our super senior. Savannah was supposed to graduate last year and move on to dentistry school, and she doesn't want to give it up yet. Jade, as a super senior, she got hurt her first year, so she had an extra year, and then obviously COVID as well. So she came back as well, and it's not easy to do those things when you hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My computer's spazzing out. Sorry. No, it's not easy to come in and kind of, she has an idea of what she wants, but every year has been a little bit different. So now she's combining that experience that she had and putting the necessary steps in to make sure that we're all on the same page. And both of them have done an outstanding job. Savannah has been, she was first team all conference last year. And I think that shows something, that says something. We were fifth in the league, I believe, fifth or sixth in the league. And to be able to get someone on a first team, I think shows kind of the respect level that the conference has for a player like Savannah.
There's a name that when I was doing the whiteout, I said a lot, Olivia Chulo. And so what can you say about Liv?
I'm so excited for Liv. I'm excited for her to have a full year under her belt. I'm excited for her to feel comfortable from day one, knowing what she's walking into because she was been here for the half semester last year. I'm excited for her to feel us out a little bit more and to be able to know exactly what our style is instead of we only have 8 or 9 girls and she's starting her second game because we were at the COVID stuff. So it was a crazy year for all of us. It was a crazier year for her coming in mid-semester, and I'm just excited for her to have that calmness of the beginning of the year, getting settled in the right way, and then be able to hit the ground running once October 15th comes. We can get right into it. So I'm looking forward to watching her grow. I'm looking forward to having her extend the defense out, and I think that obviously having someone that's local, does a great job for our marketing and making sure that we have the right people around us too.
We look at recruiting, and we've spoken a lot about what you're bringing in. Your area, when you go out and you're recruiting, I know you're a Jersey girl, so I know that New Jersey has meaning, and obviously Pennsylvania, keeping it in your backyard. But where would you say is your footprint right now? Do you squeak into upstate New York? Where would you like to be? Connecticut, Massachusetts, where you at?
I would like to be wherever the players are, wherever the ballers are, wherever the great people are, wherever the good people that care about not just themselves, but their teammates are. That's where I want to be. I don't care if you are in New Mexico. I don't care if you are in Spain. I don't care if you are in Miami. I don't care if you are in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I want, the people that want to be here and that want to put the best foot forward. So I don't have a specific niche one way or another as of right now. I just want to go after it and really make sure that we are putting ourselves in the best position, not just for, the year right ahead of us, but for years in the future as well.
When you're building these bridges with different schools, what can you say about that relationship with the high schools and the prep schools and fostering a relationship that's not just between you and the student athlete, but between you and the institution, so that when other student athletes come up, that bridge continues to be fruitful?
So I do it a little bit different. I have a lot of one-on-one conversations with the student and their parents more than anything else, just because I know how us coaches are. One thing could be completely different, and a different style can affect something else, and those things. So I kind of like to do a lot of judging, a lot of expanding, just watching myself, and obviously our assistants as well. And our assistant coach Joe does a great job of communicating with high school coaches or AAU coaches, just to kind of get the backstory and make sure we're all set those ways. But I am really kind of a one-on-one kind of person to make sure that you fit personally with our style, not just style in terms of basketball, but style in terms of the kind of person that we want around. Does their personality fit? You can be a great person, but a little bit too shy, or a little bit this or a little bit that. And if we know that we have the right people around you to kind of pull that positive attitude out of you, then that's good. But if we know that it's going to take a little bit a long time to kind of get you out of your shell, that's something that you're going to have to do on your own. But that's how we're able to understand those things, all that one-on-one time, all that time, just make sure that this is going to work on both sides. Because I always tell all of our recruits, we want you here. Obviously, we wouldn't have brought you up. We wouldn't have called you. We wouldn't have, put forth this effort to have you here if we didn't want you. But we also don't want you to just pick here, just to pick here. We want you to be happy. We want you to get everything out of it. And it's a 4-year commitment or a 5-year commitment, depending on if you want your master's or not. And again, it's not a basketball commitment. It's a commitment to the school. You're here for your education first. The proudest moment as a coach is not our wins and losses. It's watching you walk across the stage with your diploma in your hand after your 4 or 5 years. So we want to make sure that is the up front and center in terms of when you choose a school or how you choose a school or what's important to you. Basketball is one thing, but the energy that the community gives, the how you feel when you walk on campus, just that automatic response to what you see, those are the things that we want to try to take advantage of.
Yeah, and you said that, and we've talked about that it's not just about the quantity, it's the quality. We live in a world that focuses on the quantity, right? We look at the Division I level with college football and how big can you make your conference and how much money can you make and TV exposure and how many viewers and money, numbers. And you've always been the person to say, I'm going to be purposeful. I'm going to build my team. But you told me last year, I'd rather take one than take 8 if this one makes sense and the other 7 don't. So, you've made it very clear about that. And I think you and I are enigmas sometimes that there might be a lot of people that think like we do, but we say it out loud. And people are like, well, what if you only had one player come in? What if you only had one listener this morning? It's like, well, did we affect their life in a positive way? Then we did our job. Exactly. Living in a world that's so, give me the numbers. How do you deal with the fact of saying, this is my morality, these are my beliefs, this is my faith, this is who I am. I'm going to be Jen Carleton. This is what I'm going to focus on. And as much as this world wants us to just be numbers, you keep fighting back with quality. Bring me into why you fight that way and if you feel that fight.
Oh, I 100% feel that fight. But at the same time, I also know I'm surrounded by good people who understand. I don't want to say the business, but understand the business. And they understand what it takes for, it's not just about, you said, like the quantity, it's about the quality of people. I could have recruited 15, 20 kids, 20 players, but I wouldn't have been able to keep 15, 20 players happy on top of, the 8 that we already had. I don't want that. Like, I want you to pick here because you're going to be happy and you're going to get the most out of it. And yes, there's going to be ups and downs. I'm not saying it's never going to be down, but it's all, if you surround yourself with the right people, the downs don't feel as horrible. And that's really what I want to make sure that they understand. They know my door is always open. They know they can call me at any time. They know that their parents can call me at any time. I want that to always be one of the most important things, because communication is the way of life. Communication is the way of any kind of relationship, whether it's a boss, whether it's a boss employee, whether it's a best friend, whether it's a teammate, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Communication is the best way to do it. And if I lose myself in communication because I just try to get the numbers, what are we doing really? How are we making our program better? Our program gets better by the quality of people that we have, by the character that makes us move, that makes us grow, that makes us get better. And as long as we have positive growth, that's the most important thing. We can't be stagnant. We can't stay in one spot. We can't drop. Well, sometimes we have to drop. Sometimes we have to take a couple steps back in order to get a running start forward. And as long as we understand when those moments are important, the rest will kind of fall into place. So yes, it's important for us to bring, obviously we are an enrollment-based school. We obviously know that, but at the same time, we want to keep them here. We want to keep them here. We want to keep them happy. We want to keep them motivated. We want to keep them competitive. And the best way for us to do that is to make sure that we're all involved, we're all on equal playing fields, and we all have a great communication, because if you communicate through it, you should be able to get through anything.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like you said, making sure that you are growing, that you are a family, and that you're in a place, and kudos to you for this, saying as a leader, I can bring in 23, but is this really going to be good for everybody? A lot of coaches, well, I don't want to say a lot of coaches, but some coaches think about themselves, right? They think about, what is it going to make me look good, right? Mm-hmm. Or they think about a player or two. I played for coaches that cared about 2 or 3 players. And it was so evident that I loved the game of basketball, but I didn't want to play for them. And that's the pain, was like, I'm here, but I don't want to be here with this coach. And the thing that's so interesting, and you should know this as a coach, and I'm sure you do, but I played for a couple coaches in high school. And one of the coaches I played for, to this day, I didn't think he appreciated me when he coached me. Then he ended up sitting in the stands, and so we had a different coach, but his son was still playing with us. I didn't think he saw any value in me. Yet when he was sitting there as a spectator, he would talk to me. And I thought, like, he never saw me shoot in practice. He never cared. And as soon as I'd come out, he would be right there with my parents. My parents could be quiet. He could be talking. He's like, Danny, you get it? Shoot it. Shoot it. And it's like, from where? He's like, anywhere. He's like, you got it. Shoot it. You have the range. And one day I wasn't shooting. I was in my head, and he grabbed my pants. He grabbed my shorts, and he pulled on them. And he goes, hey, shoot the ball. He's like, when you get it, shoot it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, you didn't value me when I was on the team. But the thing was like I found out after how much he saw in me. And then conversely, the other coach that we had, my senior year of high school, I still don't talk to this coach. I want nothing to do with the coach. And I would never tell anybody to play for the coach because of who they were as a person. And so, you know, that coach-player relationship, it's such a dance because you could be a great coach with your group and you could be losing. But I just talked to a coach recently here, and I want to give him so much credit, Willie Fritz, Tulane, Green Wave, Division I college football in the American. And him and I were talking, and he said, Dan, the team, the wheels started to fall off the season. They went 2-10. He said, I had almost zero problems, and almost every player came back.
Yep.
That to me says something, and I'd love for you to speak deeper on, you know, that. Like you said, we may not win every game. We may have adversity, but when people return and people want to come in and the group doesn't have these massive character issues, it says something about the environment that's been created that win-loss columns are not going to show.
100%. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Especially in the college level, every college coach wants to win because, you know, this is our livelihood. Most, 75% of us are full time, and, this is what our jobs are. This is what, hopefully I'm doing 20, 25 years from now. I'm hoping I'm still doing that. So of course we want to win, but at the same time, the character that you put forward, I hope that my players look back and say she is the same, same person to the 14th girl on the team as she is to the top school girl on the team. She treats them with the same respect, or she gives them hell just as much as she gives the other one hell. That's what I hope that they would come back at me with. But at the same time, I also know that if we lose, but walk into the gym the next day with the same enthusiasm that we did before the game, with the idea that we're going to get better, we're going to capitalize off our mistakes, we're going to learn what we did wrong, and we're going to get better for the next one. That's a win to me. That is 100% a win to me. When we start to come into the gym with negative demeanor and negative attitude, and start to dig ourselves a rut that we're taking ourselves mentally out of the next time, that's when things are going a little south and you need a little bit of an adjustment. And there are going to be times that we have game practice, and we still need that adjustment. But okay, let's go upstairs. We have team bonding. We're doing these things. We're doing some fun games that have nothing to do with basketball, because you know what? They know how to play basketball. They know how to put the ball on the hoop. They know the plays that we're going to run. They know the defense that we're going to do. Sometimes you just need that mental reset to get back and realize what you're doing at that time and why you're doing it. And I think that our captains did a really good job last year of understanding the times that we need those things. And I also think that our players, understood too that sometimes it's not a physical thing. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a step back or taking a step forward in a different light. One of our favorite quotes that we say, too much probably, I don't care if we're on the wrong page as long as we're on the same page together. We could be supposed to be on chapter 12, but if we're all on chapter 7, we're exactly where we're supposed to be because we're doing it together. And I think that's really important. Our girls do it. Our players do a really good job of making sure that they understand those things. And, if there's one person that kind of sways away that day, they need a little boost. Everybody has a bad day. Those are the things that we talk about. Those are the things that we harp on. We have each other, and, you're allowed to have 1 or 2 bad days because you have so many people that are picking you up. So it's really important to make sure that we are on that same page, on that same chapter together. Like I said, even if it is the wrong one, as long as we're there together, we're exactly where we're supposed to be.
Why do you love it?
Coaching?
Yeah.
I enjoy so much watching them go from point A to point B, and point A to point B could be, when if I tell them to pass with 2 hands and they don't do it for the first 2 days, and then all of a sudden something clicks and they do. So something as simple as that makes what I do so great, and like I said, watching them walk across the stage with their diplomas in their hand, or watching them take pictures with their basketball uniform, their cap and gown, and whatever other sport they play, or something that's important to them. That to me is everything, because we made an impact, or the sport made an impact, or Marywood made an impact on not just them in these 4 years, but what they want to do in the future. They're always going to remember their time here. They're always going to remember, the way the team made them feel. They're always going to remember the little things that make a huge difference. They might not remember scores of games, but they'll remember the personality of the team. And to me, that's really why I coach. I love the game of basketball, but I love watching the growth and the impact that not just as the coach can make on them, but their teammates can make on them as well. And they always surprise themselves. I love watching them walk in as freshmen, with their shoulders, kind of, a little bit timid and, not sure about a question and, a little bit shy and, knocking on my door very lightly. And as a senior, they don't knock. They walk in, coach, you got food? You have anything for me? I love that because that's just a confidence builder. That's them becoming them. That's them becoming themselves, their individuals, and their personality is showing forward. So I always want to be the coach that never pulls them back, always wants them to push forward and to be themselves, because you're never going to play as good as you want to if you're playing like someone else or someone else is forcing you to be. And you're never going to get the job that you want. You're never going to be the person that you want later on if you have to hide from who you really are. So I want them to be front and center of who they really are and get used to that for the 4 years.
That coming from Jen Carleton, the Marywood University Pacers women's basketball head coach, here in this edition of Pacer Pride, exclusive to Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Final couple points here. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. You know that Enrico Mastriani and I are very close, and he has stepped into another chapter of his life at Abington Heights, and he is going to lead the Comets here as their athletics director. So he will no longer be the men's basketball head coach. Your thoughts on that? Because in the men's and women's basketball world, you guys share a lot of space. You share a lot of doubleheaders. So you obviously have had Enrico right there. He's not going to be too far away, and now you can call him up and ask him how those Abington Heights girls basketball players are looking. But what are your thoughts on Enrico's change?
I'm so happy for him because it's a new opportunity and it's a new exciting venture for him and his family. Selfishly, I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him around. I'm going to miss being able to go to him because he was here longer than I was about, X, Y, and Z and what can I do with this, and just, talking shop, talking basketball. Just again, we talk about people being good people and wanting good people to be part of your program. It's the same thing when it comes to an athletic staff. You want good people to be around you. You want good people to help build not just your program, but the school's brand or the athletic department's brand. When it comes to Enrico, it doesn't really get much better than him in terms of those things. So I am selfishly, like I said, going to miss him, but I also know that this is a great opportunity for him and his family. And as much as it pains me to say that, I know that he's on the right track and he's doing the right things, and I couldn't be more excited for him.
Well, I appreciate those words. I'm sure he does as well. With that being said, we're going to play rapid fire. I'm going to let you put me on the hot seat. You've been great about answering all my questions. We're getting ready toward the season here, middle of October. We get to see this thing start to get rocking and rolling here. Like you mentioned, October 15th, 6 days before my birthday on October 21st. So very much looking forward to that. And that brings us into the fall, which makes you very happy, as Halloween is your favorite holiday. And it is the holiday that I am most connected to, and probably why I like all things pumpkin related. So I will let you ask me 3 questions and proudly put myself on the hot seat whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, obviously, you know that I love Halloween. We love October. Part of October and the fall and Halloween is part of football season. Who do you think your top? Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl this year? Who's your top 2, and why?
I think the Rams have a good shot of going back. And I would say, honestly, it's the AFC is just kind of like weird. It's wide open. And I know that there's people watching that are like, Dan, say it. And I'm like, come on now. Because everybody's Buffalo Bills crazy right now. And, they keep nudging me. Hey, Dan. And, and then some people are like, don't pick them. Don't pick them, because if you pick them, they won't go.
Don't say anything. Yep.
So, I think the Rams have a good shot in the NFC. And, it's hard to go against the Bucs, but I don't think the Bucs are going to do it. So I think the Rams have a good shot. And that's probably the team I feel most comfortable with in the entire NFC. In the AFC, it's probably not coming out of the AFC South. I love my Jaguars, probably not coming out of there. I think there's some teams that could sneak up on you, but I would probably say it's between Buffalo and Kansas City. And I would say Buffalo now does not have to worry about the fact that Kansas City doesn't have Tyreek Hill. So, and he's the reason why a huge part of the reason why that game, and because overtime rules were so ridiculous, that we didn't see a game that probably would have gone on for 6 hours continue, because Josh Allen never got the ball. So I think those are the two teams there that have a shot, and I think the Rams, they got a chance to go back with Matt Stafford.
Sounds good. Okay, what about college football?
College football. So the college football playoff, 4 teams is not enough at all, and I don't think it's fair to be a litmus test. But I would say Clemson will be back this year. Alabama will be Alabama. I think there'll be another SEC school in there. So, and then, the Big Ten gets more credit than they have earned. Listen, I respect the Big Ten, but I can say this, it's my show. Someone's got a hard on for the Big Ten in that committee. So, and it's not fair. They get ranked so high. And the case in point to proving myself of years was in 2020 when the Big Ten said, we're not going to play. We care about health. And then they watched everybody else go to the party, and they were looking at TikTok going, wow, the ACC is at the party, SEC is at the party. We should probably go to the party. Then all of a sudden it wasn't about health. It was about money. 6 weeks into the season, the rankings come out, and Ohio State and Michigan are ranked in the top 25. Ohio State's in the top 8. They didn't play the game. Michigan went up 4 spots at 0-0. They got into it not playing. They rose 4 spots against all the teams that were playing to prove my point that somebody has a hard on for the Big Ten. So I think, look for Alabama, Clemson, or Georgia Clemson, but I think it's going to be SEC Clemson. And yeah, I think Clemson's down year of 10-3, which is so ridiculously stupid that people say that. But, their 10-3 bad year, I think they'll have a better year this year.
A bounce back year, huh?
Yeah, a bounce back from 10-3 and winning a bowl game.
There you go. There you go. And then my last question, how do you feel about the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, whatever you want to call it, debacle going on with the Nets?
Well, I love that you're asking this question because I've talked about it. I felt the need to. I firmly believe that Kevin Durant will never win a championship with Kyrie Irving on his team. I do not think the Brooklyn Nets are set up to win a championship. I like Kevin Durant, but I like Kevin Durant. I think he's a phenomenal player, but he's only won a championship being a part of a phenomenal team that won without him. Him having to be the focal point, it didn't work in Oklahoma City. It didn't work in Brooklyn. So he needs a healthy situation, and I don't think Kyrie Irving is a healthy situation. I do not knock him for being the human being that he is. I just think that he's more of a virus to a team than not. I think James Harden running out of there said something about that. And so, that James Harden trade that moved a bunch of players back and forth, that to me said something. And then you look at Ben Simmons, right? And who's Ben Simmons going to be? We don't know. And he's got to stay healthy. I think Kevin Durant with a healthy Ben Simmons and another guy, that is a better mold. But the whole Kyrie has a player option to make over $35 million, which is like, it's great for Kyrie, but it's horrible for the Nets that they put him in a situation of saying, hey, but if he turns around on them and says, well, I don't want to play for this team unless I have a long-term contract, that works in their favor. But what's the market for Kyrie Irving? Do you send him to the Lakers and say, let LeBron deal with him again? But I'm a firm believer Kevin Durant needs a healthy Ben Simmons and something else. But Kevin Durant, he's really good. But is he really good on a team that's not already set up for a championship? I would love to see, I'm going to throw this at you. There's 2 teams I'd like to see him go to that I think have had something but not enough. Phoenix or Dallas. I would love to see Kevin Durant and Luka Doncic in Dallas. that to me would be a championship worthy viewing pleasure, I think, for all of us. I like that more than him sticking it out in Brooklyn.
I agree. I definitely agree. I'm not a big Kyrie fan. I just call him Kyrie. That's my name for him. It's just one of those things. And I've always kind of felt like that, but I'm also a LeBron fan. So we all know how that kind of transpired. But the same breath of those things, I do think the only person that could deal with Kyrie is LeBron. I do truly believe that. So out of all the places that he could go, the one that makes the most sense to me that I think that wouldn't kill a chemistry is somewhere with LeBron, because LeBron will put him in his place. I'm not a big Kevin Durant fan. I haven't been for a very long time. I've heard many of stories about him with AAU, and his team was losing by 50 at halftime, and he took his jersey off and he went to the other team and said, "I'm going to play for them." Like, perfectly set up with, unless you're set up for a championship. And that was obviously when he was 12 or 13. So that kind of shows exactly the character of what's going on. But and again, Ben Simmons, everybody knows I'm a 76ers fan too. So they can keep him over there at the Nets.
Understood. Very much understood. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good situation for anything that's going on in Brooklyn. A lot of money, but I think that fans are going to stop. I think you'll see less attendance at the Barclays is what I think, because I just don't think that people are going to spend their hard-earned cash on watching another year of the same nonsense. So that means
not to continue this and keep going, but like, you also have a coach that's only 1 or 2 years that doesn't have the experience in dealing, and then you have three superstars right there thrown at you in a big franchise like the Nets. Like, to me, a coach dealing with those kind of personalities, you kind of need a little bit more experience. Not saying that Nash doesn't have experience in the NBA, but as a coach dealing with it, it's way different than being a player. Yeah,
I mean, I respect Eric Spoelstra now, but when he was back then, I was like, oh, he's not coaching, LeBron's coaching. Like, I didn't think of him as like the voice of that team. But now when I see him and I see the success of Miami and I see them being a number 1 seed and coming into this year's playoffs, I'm seeing a different Eric Spoelstra. Definitely. Which I respect that. And I think that, Nash can get there. And look at Steve Kerr. But, and so many people knock the Warriors for, they have all these superstars. People they drafted Draymond. They drafted Klay Thompson. They drafted, a bunch of the guys that are young on the team now. They drafted Steph. The only guy they brought in was Durant. They drafted all of their other superstars. So I just find it ridiculous that people are like, well, yeah, Dan, they're a team that's set up to. I was like, they're not set up like other teams are set up. They were set up. They were built. Yeah. So that coming from Jen Carleton, and a perfect way to end this Pacer Pride as a team that is not just thrown together, but a team that is built, which is what she's all about. Coming here, Marywood University women's basketball head coach Jen Carleton. Jen, as always, I appreciate it. I look forward to talking with you soon. And I can't wait for the day that the Halloween decorations go up in the house.
I bought my first one for this weekend. So August 6th, I got my first one. So I'm excited to get it up. Actually, it is already up. I'm excited to move it to a spot where everybody can see it instead of just in my room.
I expect nothing else. Well, thank you for everything, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Thanks, Dan. Have a good one.
You too. coming once again from Jen Carleton from Marywood University in our Pacer Pride, part of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Marywood University Pacers. So very happy to have Jen Carleton on the show as always, and thank her for the way she leads, the way she teaches, the person that she is. And she's just been an awesome human being, and I'm very excited to see that hard work, dedication, determination, and focus on quality over quantity working out here. So I'm very excited to see what's coming up next for Jen Carleton and the Marywood Pacers women's basketball team. So I promised you something here on the show, and it's time to do that. So this basket was put together by the fantastic people of Witty Wicks. Actually, the owner, Aubrey, put this together herself. So I promised you that I would be unveiling this. This is a gift basket that I'm giving away filled with local products and local love to Syracuse, New York. We have the Witty Wicks candles, spring, summer, autumn, and winter in Cuse. So all those different smells. Someone in Syracuse loves me. We have a Syracuse rainbow-colored postcard here. We have some towels that are here. We got an orange towel and a blue one here. We got some Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. And we have a slice of chocolate pizza. I'm going to be giving this away. You need to follow the instructions on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call_DT. It's time for me to give this away. And there's a very simple thing that you have to do in order to be in the running, in the raffle for this. So very excited for what we're going to be giving away. Definitely pay attention to it. It's a $70 value gift basket from Witty Wicks to you. We put it together this week, and I can't wait to give this away. So very excited to do that, and just make sure you stay close to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora's social media so you can find out how you can be in the running for this beautiful thing, as I'll be selecting something very special. So Cafe Kubal, thank you, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street, inside of their double-decker cafe on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and of course on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-through location in North Syracuse. So much love to Cafe Kubal and everything that they do. Special note from Hooters before we jump out of here.
Hey everyone, it's Sydney from iDrive in Orlando. We can't wait to welcome Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site at 8801 International Drive in Orlando. Broadcasting live Monday, August 22nd through Friday, August 26th during our lunch each day from noon to 2 p.m. Come see us girls, hear from Dan and his special guests, and preview the college and NFL seasons from the greatest seat for all sporting events. Hooters iDrive in Orlando.
Thank you to Sydney and Hooters iDrive in Orlando. We'll be down there Monday, August 22nd to Friday, August 26th, live on location. Come out and see us if you're going to be down in Orlando on your lunch break, noon to 2 p.m. Monday, August 22nd through Friday, August 26th. With that being said, appreciate y'all for being here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Thank you to Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver is what the acronym stands for. Top dog of the week, thanks to Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And big shout out to Jen Carleton, and a big time thanks to Marywood for our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. Pay attention to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, and MixLR.com, all /WakeUpCallDT, as well as on WakeUpCallDT.com and MixLR.com /WakeUpCallDT. So make sure you connect with us there. And after we go live, check the archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, TuneIn, Podbean, Podvine, Player FM, YouTube, Spotify, and Stitcher. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big thanks to our Central and Upstate New York partners and beyond, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Witty Wicks, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Avicoli's, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay, Mother's Cupboard, and of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins, Marywood Pacers, and Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. Check out our Lemoyne content by going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. Find our Marywood content on the Marywood tab of wakeupcalldt.com, and our Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse content on the BSCSYR tab on wakeupcalldt.com. You can find them all on youtube.com. Subscribe on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. For more information on your Dolphins, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, your Pacers at MarywoodPacers.com, and your Bobcats by going to Syracuse.bscbobcats.com. With that being said, big shout out to AD&DT and Dolphin Dive for our Lemoyne, as well as our Pacer Pride, today included with Jen Carleton of Marywood, and of course our Bobcat Buzz with the Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. Speaking of the Bobcat Buzz, a lot of buzz going on right now as their women's soccer schedule was released this morning. I just put it on all of my social media, so you can check that out for the reigning national champions. Come out and see them. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. I'll be unveiling how you can win this gift basket on all three of those within the hour, so we'll see you there in just a moment. God bless, no stress. Do your best. From the Cafe Kubal Studios, I ask you to appreciate the moments. Be the best you can be. Love yourself. Know that you are the top dog of your life. That doesn't mean to be cocky. Love yourself.